We're privileged enough to commentate and watch the man of the moment. We're also able to interview Sean Burgoyne, an illustrious career in the AFL, 407 games over 2 teams. It's a wonderful initiative, the Carlton draft. It's been good, Nick. Is this an indication of a possible return?
Nah, I've tried to keep myself in good nick. I'm taking this game actually serious. I know the boys want to win, so I've been training a bit with the back home in Adelaide, so I can get myself ready. So I don't want to make a fool of myself. So I want to actually get a kick out there and contribute to the team.
And it's your senior local footy debut today. You've been in the AFL system for 20 or so years. How has the grassroots level compared with the AFL?
No, I love the feeling. I walked in, kids are surrounding me, asking for photographs, autographs, and there's a real buzz. And I had that when I was a kid growing up in Port Lincoln, came from Murray Park at Suburban Oval. So hopefully the club gets a bit out of it today, and hopefully I can help that. But yeah, it's a great feeling amongst local footy clubs, where the community comes together. And if I could play a part in today, helping the club out a bit, I'm happy.
Sean, plenty of local clubs are filled with youth, in particular these two sides. When you were a similar age, what was your drive to play footy? Was there ever a moment of doubt?
No, footy was always fun. I went to play at Murray Park because my cousin played there, my uncle played in seniors, and I was like those kids over there who were watching the sidelines, watching the older guys play, and just wanted to play in the A-grade team. And I did that, and then I was able to progress, but football's fun, it's what it's supposed to be, and hopefully the kids get inspired a little bit by today and play seniors here for their team.
Now, I know you did chuck on the prison bars for Port Adelaide when you were playing with Stanford. Is there still a bit of an eerie feeling about it? I know it's a bit weird going away from the brown and gold, but how does it feel to go back to the black and white?
I love black and white. It's my colours. I'm obviously Port Magpies boy. I bought the black and white Pumas. I love playing for Port Magpies coming up as a junior, and the colours actually, I pumped it. I saw what they were, the Magpies, black and white, so I couldn't be more happier.
As I said before, the Carlton draft is a wonderful initiative. What motivated you to want to give back to local communities like Dalyston?
To be honest, just giving back, helping with clubs or people need help. So that's all I needed, and they asked me straight away. I said, yes, I'll play wherever you want me to play in Victoria, and pumped to come here. I've never been down to this part of the country, so it's the first, but I'm really excited.
And I know you have mates in Sam Mitchell who's coaching at Hawthorn, you've got Stewie Dew at Gold Coast, Jared Rufford at St Kilda. Are you looking to enter the coaching scene at all?
No, not really. I'm doing a little bit of work with Port Adelaide, the development leadership. So at the moment coaching is not on the radar, but yeah, there are a few ex-Hawthorn boys out there coaching, so I get excited when I watch those guys do that as well.
Sean, again, we're very appreciative of your time. The final question, it's 407 games. Is there one highlight that is always in your mind?
Premierships, that's why we play footy. You want to play with your mates, and you want to win a grand final with your mates. You want to play finals with your mates. So the one memory is the 4 memories where I won 4 flags. So that's it.
You have to pinpoint one premiership?
No, I can't. It's like picking your favourite child. Everyone is to be involved in one is special, but 4 is unbelievable.
Well, again, thank you, Sean. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Dalyston Football Club against Garfield. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back for the pre-game show. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Pete.
Bailey Allen alongside on the call, Dalyston v Garfield.
And we've got Silk on view today. It's going to be a great contest between two sides that really need a win. The Magpies have won, Garfield yet to get a W on the board, so it heads out towards the wing. And players just flooding around the ground. There's Burgoyne, couldn't get a disposal play, though he was pressured well by Garfield star. So kick towards inside 50, nearly a mark taken. They'll get off half back here to Pies. And they should push towards the wing, and they do. No one will get to it in time. So you've got Michael Murata, running towards the boundary line, and we'll have it throwing quickly.
Just quickly, there is a little bit of a discrepancy with the ruck. And we do have 2 number 28s, Jack Murray and Jesse Orchard-Moore. And the ruck is one of them. I'll go with Murray at the moment as he paddles it down. Bow was there to intervene. The Garfield Stars, and now they can just collect it. It wasn't clean and it's still disentangled. Now kick forward. So this is the Garfield Stars' first opportunity. Again, the ball is in dispute. Operations continue though. They're able to cut it off by the Magpies through Harris. He's been pinned for holding the ball. And now the Stars just beyond centre half forward. Steering one to the flank. The mark is taken about 55 out from goal.
Just looking for any options. They've got to take the win into account here. It's absolutely blowing like crazy today. It's a long high ball inside 50. Anyone can take a contested mark. Free kick paid in the way of the Magpies. So here in full back, and for an option is Brad Monson, who won the BNF for the Pies last year, of course, and he turns that one over. Really low kick, it was a bit silly in the end. So now the Stars can bring it into inside 50. They need a quick start. Another low ball. Might be intercepted, not quite. Now players tumbling and rumbling for the ball. Looks like we should have a stoppage. See Pizarra couldn't get a clean grab on it. It was one of 4 additions from Noble Park in the off-season.
30 out from the Stars goal. Go up in the ruck again, and Murray just collects it by himself, feeds it off to a teammate who just bashes it out of their defence. Chest mark by Hayden Wallace. Half back to the wing now. They slip. Big collision between Scampolino and one of the other defenders for the Magpies. I believe it might have been Paravicini, as we spoke on in the pre-game. 5 goals in there, only win of the season. Burgoyne around this pack, working. Tough job for Jonathan Saucy. Throw in Murray again. Paddles it down, this time only as far as Andrew Fitzpatrick into the forward pocket. A kind bounce for the forward line. Shane up the handle. Again fed through. In the pocket again. A nice little dribbler. It was just touched on the line. What an effort that would have been by John Zakari.
Stars continuing to push. Didn't give up, and fortunately they didn't get the result they wanted before 6 points, but if they continue to play like that all day, I think it's going to be a really tough contest for the Pies. That's a great grab taken on the wing there. So pushes further towards the far wing. Got Jack Paravicini, he's got a hard name. He's able to kick it off the side of the boot, trying to get inside 50 here. The players for the Magpies just pushing down forward. Mariota tries to find an option, and just with this wind pushing against the ball, they cannot get a really big kick inside 50, and the free kick's going to be paid in the way of the Maggies. Go to Michael Marotta.
Now the wind's against it here, so we have to kick every part of this ball. We saw the kick just previously. It held up in the air, put everything into it. I think it would have gone about 10 metres.
Yeah, pushed right back at him, and whoever is on that end of the ground today is going to have great troubles. And here's Marotta. So a tough angle. He's got a fair distance out. Look at the wind carry that. My goodness, that is going to be a challenge and a half today. And it's picked off nicely by the BNF in Monson, and he finds another target in Curtis Murfitt. The wind is much worse than expected. I think I was looking at Google before, about 40 kilometres per hour. Another uncontested mark taken for Dalyston. And in fact, it's Jack Paravicini. Little stab kick over to Hayden Wallace. And the wind is wrecking havoc today in the tent, on the ground. No one's going to be able to get a clean kick of the footy.
So 1 point apiece, nearly 5.5 minutes in on the Totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard, where a new store has just opened. Harsh tackle there for Paravicini. Just went with the smother, but the defence just holds up. Nice little pot kick for Saucy, a half back. We'll look to switch play. It's a dangerous kick. What are the ramifications of this? Because they're heading forward through Burgoyne, who shrugged one tackle, went at it again. He has players all over him, and it's centre half forward for the Magpies. We'll have a ball up. Wind settled for a moment. Bit of serenity, but only momentarily. The ball was back in the pack. Ball up in the same place. What have you liked so far, Bailey?
I really liked Jonathan Saucy. I know we're not too far into this game as holding the ball is scored, but there were only a couple minutes into the game, but he's kept Burgoyne relatively quiet so far. He hasn't seen much of the footy.
Sutar. Half back flank. Oh no, a fall by Jones. Couldn't quite clunk the football, but he did well with the second effort. Found a teammate in crime. Up to half forward now. The lead is on. Strong chest mark. Zakari. Has kicked a blinder before. Short ball inside 50. It's well weighted. Dropped in the end by Lang. And the tackles. And now the hand pass. Off for Sawsey. The man Bailey spoke on. Gets the first on the board for the Stars.
And on both sides of the ball, he's been brilliant so far. Defensive, he's kept Burgoyne really quiet in this first 7 minutes, and then he was able to hit the scoreboard with a goal, and he just weaved out of traffic nicely there and was able to find a really open look at goal. And obviously the wind is going down towards the other end, so it was a really clean look as well, and was able to slot through nicely.
Yeah, Garfield, they'll need probably a 2-3 goal lead at quarter time, you think, with this win.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. As we saw before, the kick is just pushed back by the wind every single time. So Marotta, it was a hard tackle. Here comes Zakari. Never mind, Zakari's got the footy now, off half forward. He's able to use a little dribbler there, and then you've got Zara, who's eventually rolling over the boundary line.
First class seats.
Yeah.
Right in front of us, half forward.
Thrown in by the umpire. Kazada, he's played a pretty good game so far in the back pocket. So Sawsey, sorry, he was lurking but couldn't get in the end. Marotta, he's had lots of the footy early. Kick it towards the wing. Burgoyne, he's lurking, but he's got a couple of defenders on him, and it was picked off and read nicely by Joseph Verleek. Kicks it towards Zakari, but he had two players on him, so couldn't do much in the end. It was a good effort on a tackle. Play tape was, sorry. And we'll have another boundary throw in.
Nearly 9 minutes in. It's Garfield by one straight kick on the totally workwear Pakenham scoreboard. Throw in about 60 metres from their goal. They have the win this quarter. The Ruckman will contend in the air. Nice throw in by the boundary umpire. It falls loose, and now they can head forward into the leading lanes to a pure one-on-one. Just tapping it in front of them was Lang, and it's kept alive, but the defence can flush it out of there, and they do, towards the wing, and we might have a throw in the exact same place, down at the wing.
Ball is returned exactly where it was before. The Magpies cannot seem to push it down the field, and I know they've got the wins, but they've had a lot of troubles. Ball thrown in. Zakari was pushing again. It was a nice smother though by Kazada, who's what a grab!
Contender.
Blake Carew. Kazada, as I was saying before, he's been good off half back, smothered nicely by Liam Bow.
Couldn't quite complete the play, but it's a contender for our Fused by King G mark of the day by Blake Carew.
Yeah, he took a great grab with one hand, and got a lot of footy left, but certainly right. A contender it will be. Another boundary throw, we've had a couple so far today. Now the Stars can move. Low cutting kick. Couldn't get a grab. It was defended nicely by Michael Harris in the black and white, and they just try to go through the middle there before it's cut off by a Star. Smothered Burgoyne. His first disposal of the game. What a grab. They're not going to pay a mark, are they? They will. In favour of Jake Vinci, sorry.
How's that? Sean Burgoyne. It's probably his first genuine touch. And that's all he needs to make an impact. They'll have a shot up forward now to kick their first.
And this is going to be the problem all day. As we mentioned before, this wind is unforgiving. Kicks it directly in front. Goes through. So the Maggies get their first major of the day. 7 apiece, and we've had a really good contest so far, haven't we, Dill?
We have, for sure. 1-1 apiece. Just over 11 minutes in on the totally workwear Pakenham scoreboard. And as we said, Sean Burgoyne, first touch went about 55, 60 metres with the wind towards him as well.
Class stick. Silky, you might say.
Paravicini did a good rap in the pre-game. He said 5 in their only win against Corumburra. It's the first on the board for the Magpies. And a crucial one too. Lang out of the middle this time. Launches that one forward. It just eluded Harper. Go after it again. A 3-on-1. Casazada out to the run in Tate. Across the wing he goes. He'll measure that one. Just in front of Paravicini again. Agility on display. He'll hand pass over the top for Wallace. And now Wallace, the centre half forward. The forwards, they can work together here. They do. Powell. The umpire blows the whistle. Another free kick going away at the Magpies. It's centre half forward. Again, chipping inside. Strong lead. Even stronger mark.
It was a great look there. To enter inside 50, there's nothing really wrong with it. There's Blake Carew can look to kick his first of the day.
Clean pair of hands, Blake Carew. Already a contender for mark of the day, but now he can influence on the scoreboard. And he does. The Magpies have the lead. Nearly 13 minutes in on the Totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard. 2-1-13 to 1-1-7.
Garfield, they're just starting to let it a little bit loose now. They had a really good pressurising couple of minutes, but they've slowed down a bit and they've let the Pies take control of this game a bit more, so they've got to get back up to that intensity, which they were before. It's a great sight to see.
And Casasada in the defence just quietly.
Yeah,
putting his imprint on the game.
He's been really good. I haven't minded Brad Monson as well.
Yep.
They've been both been really good in the back line for the Pies so far.
So to resume hostilities in the middle. Tap down. Stars this time. High kick forward. To be cleaned in Monson. Go again. Slapped away from him. The Stars, well, they can work together. Fitzpatrick brought down. A strong tackle by Armstrong. Holding the ball. Lewis Armstrong. It's in the name. Great tackle. Half back to the wing. Kick a little indiscriminate. Verleg plays on. Ran his full measure to a 1-on-1. Out the back waiting was Walsh. He's happy to see it over the line. We'll have a throw in the forward pocket. 14 minutes in.
Dangerous territory here for the Pies. For Garfield, they would most certainly like to hit the scoreboard in a major way once again. So, right forward pocket here. Burgoyne dropping back, probably looking for a quick clearance here. So, taps further out, whistle blown, and it'll go in the way. Dalyston. Pretty good kick there. I like the drop and nice use of the body there. Again, from Blake Carew, who's played magnificent. I cannot even say the word. Magnificently, I should say, so far. The ball getting ever so close to the boundary line. Here's Carew again. And you just see it over. Another boundary throw in.
A bit of a high-octane start, maybe not on the scoreboard, but the pressure. 2 goals for Dalyston, 1 to Carew, 1 to Paravicini. Sawsey was able to convert for Garfield. In the ruck, over the back. And for Garfield, it's a bit of a scrap. Holding the ball is paid and a free kick going the way of the Stars. Reluctant to give enough was Howe. The short option is there. So he'll take the longer one. Inside 50. And Walsh had to sit the entire time it was in the air. Cross defence now. Eager to expedite movement. Now they do to the wing. Monson. Just over the head of Storr. Over the line. Bench. 16 minutes in now. Quick 16 minutes, I must say.
Yeah, it's gone really quick actually. That's a good observation. It hasn't felt like that with the fast-moving footy. Hasn't been a lot of stop-start at all.
On cue, we'll have to redo the throw-in, and they do now. the advantage of the Garfield teammates. He was taken high. Free kick on the wing. Consider every offer possible. And now to half forward. Again cutting it off was the defence. Brendan Walsh. Slightly miscued Burgoyne though. With all his experience, can wrap it up by hand. Gather it again. Pass out the back. Again out the back hatch. Over the line for a throw in at half forward. 2-1 at Dalyston plays 1-1 for Garfield. 17 minutes in on the totally workwear Pakenham scoreboard.
I think the problem for Garfield so far, Dill, is that they're just not taking enough time to get inside 50 entries. I found that the defenders have been able to drop back really easily and read the ball quite well, and that's because of the rush kicks inside 50. We might have another one here, not picked off this time, whistle blown high, this time going the way of the Stars. So we can go for the set shot here. He's also got Nicholas Lang in the forward pocket. He's making a lead, screaming for the footy, but it looks like we have a set shot here for Garfield. Just trying to get the number. Really tough angle. The wind not going down this end, so distance might not be a problem. And that is way off target. Really high kick though. Oh, it's Lang! Leaps up with the two hands, stretches the body. That's a great contested mark. And now he could either snap the ball here, run off the mark. Umpire telling Kazazada to clear the area. He's going to run off the mark. Oh, he's missed it! Oh no!
And hit the bonnet of the car.
That is just about one of the easiest kicks you've got in footy, and he missed it from about 5 metres out.
Well, we don't have a segment for miss it today.
That was Lang, Nicholas Lang. He's played for a lot of footy with different clubs, and even had a three-season stint with Casey back when they were the Scorpions in the VFL, not the Demons.
It's disappointing because it's been beautiful early.
Walsh. No mark taken on the wing. Marotta, he's been pretty good in the midfield so far. Walsh really wants the footy but didn't get in the end, so Hazard, oh, he's dropped back! What a grab, Curtis Murphy. It's been a game full of them so far. Marotta moving through the middle with poise. Bit of a weird looking kick. Inside 50. Garfield retain, get back possession. It's nearly picked off again by a pie, but the Stars, they're going to get back to it first. So that's now Curtis Harper with the footy. Kicks along, and Walsh, who's had a really good couple of minutes in the back line, is able to collect the footy. Back with Dalyston now. It was a good mark, kept composure there. Was Tate on the wing. Kicks it left towards the 50. No one could take the mark. So you're going to go through the middle here. The Stars couldn't take the mark, and now they might be out here. They're just going to get to the footy first, but look at Kazazada. He is absolutely running like a madman for that Sharon. No free kick paid. And it was still a really good effort there from Jackie Barnes to get there in time.
Kari as well. He sprinted. He was unlucky not to get there. It's a big shepherd. Deep in the forward line for the Stars, but again, Casazada, looping hand pass. Howe, cross half back. He'll look centrally and flying again. I believe it's Carew to Murfitt. Erratic hand pass, finally able to garner the footy. They'll backtrack to Monson. Just over there to the preferred target. The Stars can repel. Pressed at the wing. Sorfa. Time here, ground level. Pickering. Find a way out. A one-on-one, tracking it down. Marotta against Saucy. Marotta got the better of him. And they can swing it to the outer side.
So, big booming kick from Matty Howe. Probably will go out of bounds here, but it was actually collected by Storr in the end. So they're now pushing towards the pocket. Carew, high handball, try to go over the top of a Stars defender. In the end, it's going to go out of bounds for a stoppage. And I think the problem with the Pies so far and why they don't have a bigger lead is their kicking efficiency is just probably not been up to scratch so far. They've turned the footy over quite a fair bit, but they're still leading this game by 7 points, so you can't critique them too much. So Stars get it back. Oh, it was a really good smother, however. It looks like they were going to exit inside 50 once again, but there were an extra Pies there forming a line, and it was a really good smother in the end. For another throw up, or boundary throw in I should say. Store, try to find Murphy before it went out of bounds again. Cloudy day here in Dalyston near the sea. Got a really big crowd here to watch Sean Burgoyne, who's of course a part of the Carlton draft, and an organisation run by the beer makers, Carlton Draft and Fox Footy, and just raising awareness for some local clubs that may not necessarily have a bunch of funding. Carrot Murphy, that looks like a really good kick. Is it going to have the legs? It won't. Touched behind, that would have been a contender for goal of the day, but just couldn't get enough on it in the end. Deal.
Against the breeze, Garfield sense that they need a goal. As we've said plenty of times already in the first 23 minutes, this wind threatens, and with the legs on that kick, all the way over the top, it's bowled them all, definitely out. Boundary throw in.
I think a few of them in the past minute or so. Another boundary throw in. Murray in the ruck. He's a big boy for the Pies, Jackie Murray. Really tall. Which is exactly what you want from your rucks. Ball spills out. Stars were lucky enough to get it in the end. Hazazada may have been pushing it back there, but Monson was there to collect it, however. So now it's M. Lewis turns the ball over, but not quite. It was a drop mark. Could have been an easy two hands on the Sharon there. But now Garfield can move. They push out to the wing towards Lang. Now you've got Curtis Harper who was screaming for it, and that's a really missed opportunity there as Lewis tries to hit up a player. Couldn't get there in the end, so they're going to go through the wing again, the Stars. Mark taken by Angus Emery. It's going to be his first touch today. There was a really good lead by Jonty Bowe. Bowe, a really famous name within the Garfield Football Club. His dad Neville won 3 flags and a couple BNFs that cost 300 games. Another uncontested mark. Getting downfield really easily before it's picked off well by Marotta, who's played well through the midfield. Goes once again towards the wing. Pushed out of bounds for a throw-in.
Ramirez Jackson Boone, 16 years of age. See him have an opportunity in the seniors. On 25 minutes now. Just the 3 goals this quarter. 1 for Carew, 1 for Paravicini. The Stars, 1 for Susie. Shallow throw in. Work it out again. Murtitz to half forward. Come back the other way. The 2 teammates collided. Destination of the boundary line seems to be the only possibility here. Can't be too long left. We have had a few stoppages in the second half of the quarter. No goal kick for over 10 minutes now. Prime opportunity for Burgoyne. It was brought down in an instance. Howe, tough, hard at the footy. A lot of meterage on that kick. And the Stars through the middle. Who can they activate? Out the back, they do. Hand pass from Harper. Now to full forward. It might have the legs. Fitzpatrick will have to get there. It's a point in the end. Even amount of scoring shots. 2-2 Dalyston to 1-3 Garfield. 26 minutes in. Totally workwear packing the scoreboard. Full back. Play Tate. A couple of outlets. The longer option. Walsh collaborating with a teammate. Out to the wing. Short ball. Store. absolutely marks it. Scouting every alternative possible. Now on the left, holding up in the air again. Plenty of altitude in the kick. And over the line it spills. Paravicini. Well, just crashes the pack, pulls it out. Didn't have front position there. 27 minutes in. So Magpies by 5. Low throw in. Redo it. Any takeaways, Bailey?
I think both teams have been a bit sloppy with the footy when it really matters. They've turned it over quite a bit, and I think they've lost a couple of opportunities to really get the scoreboard here, but they've just turned it over. And as we mentioned in the pre-game show, wind is a massive factor today, but I think they've just missed a couple chances where they could hit the scoreboard.
Burgoyne to half forward. Bounce avoided every Magpie player except Storr, who buried his opponent half or in a tackle half forward / half back, depending on what team you're looking at. Big tap again. Forward from Verleg. Out to the wing. Monson just bashes it back to the spot where it just was. Burgoyne now to full forward. A lot of distance on the kick. The mark has been taken, I believe.
That's Foon.
It is Foon. Siren sounds. An opportunity to extend the lead to 11 as they all surround Sean Burgoyne. Brilliant work by him. But Jackson Foon, 16 years of age. And he's pulled it to the left. In the end, there's been 2 inexplicable misses, 1 for each side. But after 1, it's 2-3-15 to Dalyston and 1 goal 3 to Garfield. Magpies and the Stars. Up in the ruck. Murray. Salter got the better of him. And now the Magpies are away to half forward. So looking after this is Carew. Might send it out of bounds.
Carew's played a really good performance today, hasn't he?
Yes. 10th mark of the day. Kick the goal. Another impressive mark. This one to the wing.
Oh, and here's Burgoyne. Oh, it's looking straight. Has he kicked it? Yes, he has. Sean Burgoyne. I guess you could say it's his first goal because it's his debut today in senior local footy. But if you want to count the others, he's kicked about 300.
This is why everyone's here, to see that. Sean Burgoyne. He hasn't missed a beat. That was perfect. The goal umpire did not move. That's a morale boost for them. Some worrying signs for Garfield.
And one thing I want to mention, they've really brought Burgoyne into this culture just in the one day. They were all getting around him as their quarter-time siren blew. So I'm really liking how he's embracing the game today.
Again, Salter. This time to tennis Greenall. To the pocket, had to bounce obligingly and did for Melrose, but he was met in the tackle. And the crumb falls to the Magpies and work it out of defence. Now they're approaching the wing, just elegantly across the wing. Backman for them, just right through Carew's legs did go. Burgoyne this time laying a tackle. He's doing a bit of everything. No prior opportunity for Angus Emery. Magpies the side of the wing, closer to their goal. Won't be for too long, or will it? They're able to chain up the handballs. Salter again to half forward. Fence again. Held off well. Boundary throwing. 12 points, the margin over 2 minutes into the second quarter. Right in. Missed that pack. Murray knocked it down to him. He does. Burgoyne just missed it as it tunneled through his legs, and barging through was Bow. Kick inside 50 and a big set of knuckles by Walsh, who's been a presence all day in their defence alongside Clay Tate and Samir Kazazada. The wind seems to have settled for a moment. The jackets are on everywhere, multiple layers. It's not warm out here. Down at the sea. Wedged between a couple, one of the stars. All up. Just outside, the Stars goal. Burgoyne this time. Hand pass out. Pinpoint to the wing now. A one-on-one. Broken up in the air by Jones. But the Magpies, they can continue down the ground, and they do. Carew, one more time, taking a mark. He plays on. Poke one to half forward. Slipped through the fingers of Paravicini. Crashing through again, Marotta. Pass over the top. Powell did well, faked one, stepped inside, kicked into the pockets, where the mark is taken by Mason Score. Little snap, it wasn't missed last quarter. What does Mason have in store?
Wayne, as we mentioned before, he missed an awfully easy shot. What can Store do? Oh no, he's almost kicked out in the full. One goes left, the other goes right.
Interesting, he took the drop punt. I know it would have been check side with the left foot up. Now it seems to be custom snap rather than the drop punt. Full back, Jet Pickering. Bandage around his nose. Almost like Brandon Bonner back in 2009. Runs. To half back. This is where they just need to hold up for a moment. Take their time. Emery, centre half back. This is where most of the turnovers have occurred. Down to the wing. Burleg. Now he's off. Extended stroll. Almost dispossessed. Managed to get the hand pass away in the nick of time. Just picking it up again. Great tackle. Wallace applying the pressure. Magpies through Marotta now. Free kick coming back to the Stars. Will be Matthew Jones. Jones, where does he go? Right in front of him to the man on the mark. Great smother. We'll look to rectify the situation. Hand pass across. Emery engulfed by the tackle immediately. The umpire says ball up just near the centre of the Dalyston Recreation Reserve.
Back to square. There's a really good hit out there by the ruckman in Zach Suter. A typical ruckman, but it's a really good hit out. Now the Stars looking to move inside 50, but the back line of the Pies held up well. Now they can push out towards the wing once again. Kicks into space, not a single man down. Look at the speed. That was Suter again, and he's being wrapped up nicely. Holding the ball.
I actually think you thought the runner was a player then, because I did as well for him.
What fight from Curtis Murfitt. Pushing the back, so another free kick going in the way of Monson. And you've got Paravicini, who's in the long sleeves. Didn't get him in the end, that could have been in the back, and it will. So that is once again Carew, who's been good in the forward line today. Being one of the better Dalyston players, along with a bunch of other names like Samir Kazazada's as well, and Brad Monson's. Inside 50, probably overshot that Burgoyne, almost got it. They're going to count on a mark, they will. I thought there was a lot of fingers on that footy first, but nonetheless, Mason Score.
He's looking to give it off. He has a second chance. Further back from where he was. Similar angle. The left foot up. Will he centre it? Looking towards goal. One kick, one way. This time it's the other. Out on the...
In terms of kicking in front of goals, it's not the day to beat Mason Store so far.
I'm not a
any
means, but to me it looks like a nice approach to goal. action as well. Decided to do twice.
Get BT out here. He knows how a drop's meant to look.
That's Stampolino. Show a clean pair of heels out of here. Jones. Plaintiff. Suter. Been everywhere in this last couple of minutes. Hope to begin a passage of play for the Stars. Only temporarily because Magpies definitely built back there on the wing. Like ball up. Over 8 minutes in, Dalyston lead Garfield by 13 points. Totally workwear Pakenham scoreboard. Just need a spark, do the Stars. Another ball up. Stop start in the second quarter. There's Burgoyne, the midfielder. Any observations from the second quarter, mate?
It's sort of stagnated a bit. Both teams really can't find super good looks other than Mason Stall, who missed on his 2 set shots. But and as for Garfield, they just cannot get it down there into the ground, unfortunately. And fighting the winds, it's been a really hard task for them so far. As players going to be tackled, so they need ball up.
Burgoyne seems to be having a spell at the moment. Paddle down. Alright, hoping to break the shackles, but they were stripped of it. Stars, this time, if they can pick this up cleanly, they do. Zakari, cross. Good teammates now to the half-forward line. Quite a spatial half-forward line. Cut off for the Magpies. Through the middle they go. Howe had a slither of space. Sent it out in the path of his teammate. Here is Burgoyne. Motoring onto it. Ball's too speedy for all of them. Like the throw in. 30 metres out from the Magpies' goal. 10 minutes into the second quarter. 22 Dalyston and 9 to Garfield. Another throw in. Not contend in the air. Sutar again. He got the better of his opponent there, and a strong tackle on Carew. Throw in. Garfield.
Previous possession was really good movement through the centre by Dalyston. They'll be looking to reap any reward. Boundary throw in. That's Store in the ruck there. That's a bit of an unlikely sight there. Players hit the grounds. And another ball up.
Stalemate in the last couple of minutes.
See Burgoyne there. He's not in and around the contest anymore. He's up at half forward, so that's a really big target they can look for. Instead, they find once again Jack Paravinci, who's been brilliant down as a key forward today. He's already got a goal. He can go back for his second. The wind has been a bit of a monster today. Will he fight back? He most certainly will. Wants it back. Even the envelope boys down here are getting excited. 28-9 and Garfield, they just cannot get the ball rolling. And I thought that kick might have gone to Burgoyne inside 50, but no, it was Jack Paravinci who took the contested mark, and he's been brilliant.
2 goals to 0 in the second quarter. And they're on the marches. 19 points. Garfield just need to hold up as well as attack. Back-to-back goals. Certainly a coach killer as well, because they've had chances. They might have another here if their plans can come into fruition. Bow to half forward. And the Magpies have really fortified back there. The wing again. 1-on-1. Tate to reach. Another throw in at the wing. It seems like the Stars' movements
Yeah, exactly right. It's been really choppy. Other than that centre clearance there, I liked it, but it was picked off far too easily by Lewis Armstrong.
Here they go, Melbourne. Seconds dissipate off the clock though. 13 minutes in now. All congregated half forward. Linked up by hands. Strong tackle again by Harris. Yes, at this point, Garfield, they just have to kick a goal to maintain not only hope but the spots in the game.
Yeah, well, I think they haven't been able to get the scoreboard yet, too.
Not this quarter at least. Can they get quickly put to rest? Never going on the mark. Is that tall? No, on the mark. To the throng. Now the crumb opportunity for Dalton. Nice smother. They're all rabbing in there. Another contest. Another ball up. Certainly not the most pleasant second turn. Plethora of stoppages. This is by the umpire, but making their way out of defence now, the Magpies. To the wing again, similar side, one-on-one, good body use by Carew. Hunt it down again, an opponent into the scene first, out of bounds. 4-4 to 1-3. 15 minutes into the second quarter, 2 goals to 0. Favour of Dalyston. Garfield have to get on the ball. Can't at the moment because the Magpies are inside their forward 50.
Crowd is absolutely bustling today for a team that represents the Collingwood Magpies. We've seen a lot of Hawthorn jumpers down here today, of course in support of Sean Burgoyne, the club legend of both the Power and the Hawks. As they enter inside 50 again, the Pies, can they make anything of it? Maybe not on this occasion. But they kick it out. It was a nice mark taken by a start. It was Ryan Dalton, Joel Bapton. He was on the kick. He was composed. Nearly a contested grab. Marotta. Kazadi almost got it. Now they can go through the middle, but they're so elect for the wing. I thought the centre could have been the smarter option. Handball's over his head. Didn't see where he was going, in fact. And finally, another inside 50 entry. So they really need to make their opportunities here. But the Collingwood defences, the Dalyston defences stood strong all day. So pushing forward, couldn't get it any closer to the goals on that occasion. And a free kick, holding the man, go towards the Maggies. So Michael Harris was rewarded the free kick, turns it over almost immediately. Oh, player was hunting there, couldn't get in the end. Drop mark, bit of a sit-up. Armstrong, the bleach chair, he was playing at the G. You might have thought he'd be given it. And taps along, just trying to get any extra space. Was Karavinsky. Still really tight towards the boundary line. They find Murphy in the end. Then you got Wallace. Hayden, that is. Yeah! Big lead! Jack Murray! He was like a robot there. His eyes never left sight. It was a really good run towards the Sharon, and now he can go back and slot this out. It's about a 50-metre kick. It needed to have a fair amount of distance on it. And he's got the confidence. Jack Murray, the big ruckman, lets it fly. That's looking good. It's gone through for 50. Jack Murray, now good. Jack Murray came from Noble Park. He's been able to make His senior debut this year after a lot of time in Noble Park's reserves. And what a booming kick from 50 out.
We said plenty of confidence. What a strike. 25-point lead has opened up for the Magpies. Now, times are treacherous for Garfield. Need a goal before half-time. Over 18 minutes in. Should go overtime. With all the stoppages, it's Dalyston. Half forward once again. Digging it out of there with the Stars defenders. Stopping again they go. Rushing full speed at the football. Rapid tackle. In fact, it'll be holding the ball. The Stars now. Blocking the space of his own teammate there with the Garfield forward line. Burgoyne to return it back to where it previously was. Scampolino is over the line, out of bounds.
Burgoyne's looked for Foon a couple of times now, which is just great to see. The old veteran and the rookie, you might say.
23 years between the two. Flat throw in. We're in favour of Garfield. Bo, Emery to the wing, a towering effort. Couldn't quite rope it in. Sakari. That not only would have been if he had it mark of the day, but maybe mark of the year.
Yeah, he was certainly looking like might have gone through at one stage, but just couldn't get enough height. All spilling, no one can really get a clean look here. Eventually Garfield ended up with the footy. So it's going to push inside 50. They haven't had many entries in this quarter. The free kick will be paid. So Barnes is one of many Jacks playing today. And famous St Kilda squad that is for the amount of Jacks they had. And I know it was a long kick before, and I thought he could have taken the set shot there, but he did in the end. Elected to go a bit closer. I don't think he disguised that very well. He's gone from the centre square. Mate, you were not going to kick that. Not at all. So instead, we'll have a boundary throw in. Oh, sorry, a throw up. Pass it over to Dill.
Deep inside, the Stars forward 50. An opportunity revealing for itself. Shut down, a great tackle. Stars muster something at the moment. They're about 45 out. They have the ball. They have a shot at goal. Just while the wind is low. Now can turn the other way. 50 metres out. He hoists it. A lot of distance on it. Right on the goal line. It's touched. It's still in play. Remains ajar. Right on the line with the Stars goal. Throw up. An interesting position for the Stars. If you're a Magpie, do you rush it through? No need. Burgoyne has it under control. To the wing. Depth on the clear and kicking. Put it to the wing at the Stars. Dalton. Another reference inside. Scampolino. Search and kick around the outer side now to the wing. Pickering. To half forward. They'll have to communicate in the air, and they do. Verleg. This is what we saw in the first quarter, which was impressive. But now it's past this barricade, which they progress past now. Plenty of players. A slither of space. Is it capitalised on for the Stars? It isn't. They put it to rest at the Magpies' defence. And a throw has been called. Advantage taken by the Magpies. Pack forms on the wing. Scampolino again. Short kick. Play on the call. Emery had to improvise. He did. On the left. Out wide. Casazani read it best. They'll have a split second to set it up now, will the Stars, if they can just get this away. But again, Casazada staunch structure. You just can't get past him, baby.
And Garfield really missed two big opportunities there. Their forwards just didn't put enough pressure on them. They were right there at goal. You could smell it, but just the pressure from the forwards wasn't good enough. And Burgoyne on the first occasion was able to leak out quite easily.
Here we go. Flying shot at goal. Right to the teeth of goal. And now a little away from it. So they just edge it forward to the Magpies' defence. There's a snap for the Stars by Verlev. And it's a stray out to the left. Their first score of the quarter comes over 23 minutes in. It's a 4-goal margin, 5-4 to 1-4. They're totally well played. Hackman score.
Kick in from full back for the Pies. It was a minus score in the previous possession from Garfield. So they kick it really sharply towards the boundary line. Garfield being able to get a couple turnovers in the past couple of minutes. And that's a mark taken about 50 or so out by Lane, the former Casey Scorpion. And I'm not sure if he's backing himself here. It sure looks like it. So
Right on the paint.
yeah, I did say 50 out before, but maybe 40 or so out on a really tough angle. He's gonna need absolutely everything to make this one. This would be huge for Garfield. They need a goal. Lets it fly. That's not looking too bad at all. Goes across the face for a minor score, however.
Really used the wind to his advantage there.
Yeah, just carried it over a bit too much over to the left, I think. So instead, with Dalyston, just assessing his options here, decides to use the other side of the wing, does the Pies defender. Ball punched up. They'll get possession here again, the Stars, but the pressure is really good from the Pies here. They might just be able to get it back. So ball rolling along the field. Ground in superb conditions today. And they'll go over the line for a boundary throw in.
25 minutes in. Not too long left.
You can't imagine there would be, and I think you're exactly on the money there, Dill, in that first quarter, that Garfield needed to get a couple more goals because with the wind they just cannot get it through.
Back and forward again, into the pockets. Nice body use, Joel Batson. As you see, all the players around one area of the ground. Not a single player for Garfield on this near side. Brought to ground level, sprawled out on the turf. There's everyone in the mix. Now to throw in at the wing again. Kicking on 26 minutes now. Still a 23-point lead for the Magpies. 5-4 to 1-5. Nice knocked down, but only to his own detriment. As Emery was there for the Stars. Cut off by the defence. He has leads. Just to a few players. Not the smartest decision in the end. Inventive kick from the Stars midfielder out of there. Towards the boundary line it goes. Skips away and out of bounds.
Not much time left on this clock whatsoever. It's been a somewhat tight contest today. The momentum hasn't really swung at all, but the Pies do sit with about a 23-point lead, I believe it was. So here's Storr. Just didn't read the footy well enough in that instance and coughed up back to Garfield. And there it goes, the siren to end off the first half. The Dalyston Magpies with new addition Shaw.
Keep you updated and posted on those scores. But in the meantime, let's get back to action.
Here's Burgoyne right through the middle again. That's where he'll be playing for this quarter, we assume. So out towards the wing. Garfield sells a little bit of the candy there. That was clever. I liked it. And then takes a mark there with Zach Dalton. Burgoyne on the mark is able to find a man in Joseph Verleg who was running onto the footy. Low cutting kick. Oh, Lane almost got the footy there. And and Barnes may have been held. He charges through the Garfield start. And then would be holding the ball. Had a bit of prior, but umpire disagrees and pulls it back. So it's been a really, really good start for Garfield in this third quarter. Deep inside 50 already. Here's Barnes. Bit off target, and that was far too easy for Brad Monson to drop back and kick. Drop back to Martin.
Yeah. There's no need to put Burgoyne back there. They have it under legs at the moment. Out to the wing. Mason Storr. Making amends for those misses earlier in the first half. Standing start, a strong lead. Stars are now changed through hands to centre half forward. Just overrunning the footy was Walsh. His teammate was there to back him up in Murphys. To the wing now. Ford had the luxury of some space and time over to Walsh. And then in the hands of Howell, who's honouring the voice of the teammate at half forward. Looks like he has the ability to kick it from here. He's certainly confident about it. He rides on the paint of 50. Hayden Wallace.
18 games played. Kicked a bag of 5 against Currumbura-Bina in round 5.
Difficult angle. Wrong side for a right footer. Man on the mark, just on the 50. He gives it everything he has. It's a goal. And what a kick it was. Hayden Wallace gets the first on the board for the Magpies. And that opens up a 29-point lead, 6-4-40 to 1-5-11 on the totally workwear Pakenham scoreboard.
And he judged the win beautifully there. He knew that he had to kick it a bit more off to the right of goals because he knows that the wind was going to absolutely thrash that footy over to the left side. So he judged that perfectly, Hayden Wallace, and he definitely deserves that goal after a brilliant kick from the set shot.
Garfield have an opportunity to evaporate right in front of their eyes. Hayden Wallace launches one from 50. Burgoyne flattens his opponent there on the ground. Another ball up. Murray to tangle with his opponents. Escaping was Dalton. It was almost prevented. And now just eluding one. Nice footwork. Good for the Stars. Burleg now at half forward. He'll thrash it deep. To full forward. Nice mark by Nicholas Long.
Lang, he missed a snap.
Rather Lang.
Yeah, I did notice Long, but I was going to let it slide. Lang, he missed a fairly easy shot earlier on in the game, and this is an opportunity to answer back at the Pies. The Stars, they really need it.
Bit of it. Get some momentum back on the board. It's a goal. No, it's not. The flags were up behind the goal. And the proper flags now sitting behind.
Cheer squad, we're going bananas. They thought it was 6 points for certain. Full back goes Tate. Long high kick towards the wing. Murray almost took a really impressive mark there. It was just off it. So we have Boundary throwing right in front of the Toyota sponsorship sign. Brings it up. It's a nice throw in from the umpire there. I rated it. And then be another stoppage, and what a free flowing game. There was a lot of stoppages in that second quarter, and footy wasn't able to flood through nicely throughout the oval.
Seems to have opened up early.
Yeah, which has been good. Garfield and Dalyston have been able to have their own looks at goals, but as we sit here towards left half forward, it has just calmed down a little bit. Murray almost tapped it out. Murata had a really good first quarter. Oh, he's ran down there. That's got to be holding the ball, and in fact it is. Just about to say Murata had a really good first quarter, and off to a bit of a slow start in the third. Oh, what a smother. He died for it. The courage and the fight doesn't have the footy was Murphy, no free kick paid, he gets it regardless. The Tate, trying to find any Magpie player there. Instead it was turned over. So ball tapped out towards the centre square. They've got to get it off here before it's another turnover. They were too late. Murray through the middle. Long and high. Not quite. And thought it might have been dragged in, but umpire disagrees. My ball.
Centre of the oval. Murray up in the air. Floated for a moment. Wallace slipped out of his grasp. And they go. Tackles, they amount, as does the congestion. Marotta out of there. Could be the exponent for another goal. Burgoyne threatening. Red lights flashing everywhere when he's around. Disappointingly, he passed it off. Carew, centering ball to the hot spot. Wasn't a favourable bounce. Makes its way out the back door. And it's locked away for a ball up about 20 metres out from the Magpies goal. So they hold a 28-point lead. Just under 7 minutes in. Palmed down. Burgoyne loitering. Right with the hands to the football. Again they go up. A nice rise. Defence holding up. They'll have to skedaddle quickly, and they do. Back to the centre of the ground. It'll be on its way back through Tate. Right underneath that ball, the fly from the back. Didn't quite rake it in. Caravicini laterally across the centre half forward, which transforms into centre half back as Sakari makes his way out. A little indecisive, and now beautiful ball for Burleg. The centre. This oval. Just tried to prod one, but it was cut off by Marotta. May have hurt himself. In the meantime, Ireland high up and under, and camped underneath. Another contender of mark of the day was Caravicini. Thwarts it to full forward, it goes to the left a little. Defence again. Able to escape to a 2-on-1. In the end, the numbers better for Garfield. Trickling ball up the wing. Another 1-on-1. Strong body use from the defence. And pass again, as do Garfield. Just retain possession for a moment here. They could construct a coherent attack. Now the Magpies go through Walsh. Chips one short. The Markers take our team out of the wing.
What do they do here? The Pies, they've been playing a really good quarter so far. Pack collapsed as the footy was rolling in towards them. Two players wrapped out on the wing for a boundary, for a throw up. Say tapped out. Another stoppage for a ball up.
Settling again. 28 points the margin over 9 minutes into this third quarter. Leaving with the footy are the Magpies. Tate. Kicks it about 20 metres for Burgoyne. Class. Into the pocket now he goes. Just held up in the wind for a short stint. Time now to the pack as the whistle blows, calling for a ball.
So, sit just inside the Dalyston 50. Ball up, nearing the pocket. Garfield, they haven't got numbers here, but still can't seem to get a clean way out. Another stoppage. And players will turn back to their positions. Murray in the ruck, he's been good today. The tap's over. Here's Foon. He's got Burgoyne there. Good handball, but maybe just not enough space as Burgoyne had to take it over the boundary line. Absolute superstar of this game. Legend. And another boundary throw in. Murray. On one that's hit out as Burgoyne. He sockers it out and hits someone right on the chest. It was Ethan Ford. So now he can either go for a set shot here, and it looks like he will.
Two minds here. That was the other mind, setting off into the path of Tate, right to the goal mouth. Again, it just fell short. Half back is Melrose. He surveys. What are the options ahead of him? To the wing. Out. Had to sit the entire time. Did not need to move. It just fell right into his lap. Matthew Howe. Clean ball that was very tidy. Fashionable service, you could say, for Paravicini. Inboard for Wallace. Just kicked a monstrous goal early on in this quarter. And again, it sails right to the teeth of goal, where the mark is taken. And that was the methodical approach that will please the coach. Blake Carew, plenty of marks, and he smashes it forward. Good luck retrieving that one. But the Magpies have a 34-point lead under 12 minutes into the third quarter. 7-4 to 1-6 on the totally workwear Pakenham scoreboard.
There's a lot of time left in this one, but I'm just about ready to say Garfield might be done for this one. The performances just haven't been good enough going forward. Haven't had a lot of composure, and this Pies defence has stood tall all day, and the forwards are just no match for it, unfortunately. So the situation looking dire for the Stars. On the other hand, Dalyston Magpies are absolutely flying with Sean Burgoyne, the former Port Adelaide power player and Hawthorn Hawk. Hit out one by the Stars. Trickles inside 50. You've got Barnes there who was lurking, couldn't get it a clean look in the ends. Trying to find a teammate, was the Pies defender. Didn't have the footy there, it's got to be a free kick, and it is. So, going in the way of Jonty Bowe, it's actually Ian Melrose. Thought free kick might have gone to him in the end, and doesn't look 100% on the set shot. I think he might be looking for an easier option. No, he's actually going to go for goal here, and I don't think that's going to have the distance. Oh, it does! I have caught it completely wrong. Ian Melrose just let it fly off about 1 or 2 steps, and it's just had the legs. And the Garfield cheer squad, or I should say the Garfield Rezzies, are going really passionate fans down there.
Benefits of deception. It did not look like he wanted to kick a goal.
He did. He looks like he had zero confidence to go back and slot that, but
One player on the line as well. There was 3 or 4.
those are the goals you need if you're a Garfield side who are down by a fair margin. As Burgoyne was just talking to his Dalyston teammates. Tackle laid, couldn't get the clean dish off by hands. Remain in the centre square for a ball up. Resumes play. Charging through the midfield are the Stars. This looks like a really good opportunity. Just need to capitalise, but instead it was Brendan Walsh. It was a lot more dangerous, that move it was for the Stars. Walsh moved nicely. Murphy finds an uncontested man in Lachlan Wright.
Today, another 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, he knocked Murphy down there. That was silly. So,
Lachlan Wright.
He's done a few years as a senior footy player, and decides to just dump it off. Oh, it was a strong lead there, but couldn't get the 2 hands in the ends. And have a ball up. So they've really put themselves in this position here, Garfield, because that was just an unnecessary 50. Burgoyne looking to shoot towards goal, but no one can get 2 hands on it. Pushes outside of the 50. That was a really interesting choice there by Mason Storr. Goes across the wing to Jack Barnes. He then finds an opposition player in Lewis Armstrong with the bleached hair. That's one of your contenders for Mark of the Day. And he kicks it across to Zazana. And then just a little chip-to-chip footy here, playing slow and methodical. And now they can go, they're out here. M. Lewis kicks it out towards R. Ford. No real opportunity opening itself there, but he's got the legs here there with Verleg. Really likes that run. So just no intent by the Fords there. You've got to sprint out at it, boys. But now, an opportunity. Verleg, open look at goal. Are they in this? The Stars. What pass? The wing didn't even move. It went straight through the middle, and we've got a bit of an interesting clash now. Garfield is starting to claw their way back in it.
We did notice it, didn't we? After that last goal, they entered the 50 again. We've said a lot about movement today, but I'll continue to come back to it. Some boisterous fans behind the goal.
And with such a big crowd here in Dalyston today for Sean Burgoyne, and there's so many Pies fans around, that is the support you need for your forwards.
Not an easy task, is it? Against Dalyston, 0-9, Dalyston 1-8. Sean Burgoyne as well, who's been implemented into the side. They all just pile on top of each other in the centre of the ground. We'll have another ball up, but now there's been something injected into this game. 7-4 to 3-6 on the Totally Workwear Pakenham scoreboard. Here they go again. Tannis Greenall to the wing. It's a 2-on-1. Verleg again. A little bit of whiplash. He hit his head on the turf, but he seems to be alright. Bounce back up in his feet. Lewis to half forward. They can plot themselves a track way out of here. Can Garfield, if they just secure the footy. Dalyston do this time. A free kick in the way of the Magpies. Curtis Murphy. Rather Lachlan Wright. Murphy gave it off to where is Murphy, providing some protection. Wait for the adjudication here. Murphy just had to clear out. So Wright will retake the kick. Over 18 minutes in now. Forward back to 22 points of Garfield. Outstretched Jack Murray. Shuffling through the options. In the end, he just chisels it inside, maybe a little futile. As the defence held up. And now they can attack from the Magpies. Just smothered. Back out to the wing, a 2-on-2. Garfield may be the beneficiary of this. Just tucked along the ground, right in front of their feet and clambering out of there. It's Ford. They all just barrel into each other. Intensity certainly rising here. Burgoyne. Tate. Centre half forward. Mark or a free kick, take your pick. Has been paid. It'll be Hayden Wallace, who we know has the distance. This time, the angle will suit him. Off to a partner. Mason Storr. Now he's had chances from either side of this. One out on the full, one nearly out on the full, but now straight in front to give them a bit of a cushion. And he has. Mason Storr. Bit of a morale boost for him as the team just corral him. It's a 28-point lead for the Magpies.
Nothing too disappointing misses earlier in this game. One went off to the left, other one went off to the right. Third one, right down the middle. So, there's the confidence boost that you need if you Mason Storr is a left footer and he kicked Dalyston's 2 goals last week, and it was the only 2 goals of the game for that losing side against Coralline.
Third time's the charm. In the middle. Magpies allocate this to a player? They do, but it was buried into the turf. Bobbles around. Eventually it's bottled up. That Bo back into the centre of the ground. Necessary intervention by the Magpies midfield. Burgoyne withstood a couple. Lewis to centre half forward. Fine bounce in the end. Has to behave again, and it does. And then he is just constrained in the tackle. And it's holding the ball. The crowd are unhappy. They claim for a high free kick. And guarded. Up here to half forward. Taps around. Walsh had to be composed, and was, as was Kate. Ball. It'll be a mark, so it is paid. We're waiting for the decision. Paravicini to take the free kick. On the wing he is. He has the short lead if he wants. He went a little longer. Not beyond the 50. In fact, it's right on the arc. It's dislodged from the pack. No one can get it under their control, and now they do. A snap out of the pack. It's extremely wide. It's out in the
So, it's an overcast day. 22 minutes into this third quarter. Not a bunch of scoring, you'd say, but still being a good contest between two sides who really need a win. Of course, Dalyston only have the one for the year, and Garfield still yet to get a W. They sit bottom of the ladder. So, little chip kick and cut it centre. Oh, it was nearly intercepted, but it was lucky that Zach Dalton was able to grab it well enough, and that's a really good grab again by Matthew Howe. So he's just instructing his players to move to the left. Boots it forward. That's a really big kick. No one could get the mark in the end, and be a touch behind for a minor score. So now it is Jet Pickering to take a kick from fullback. He debuted in the May of last year, and he only played 3 games so far this year. Hasn't missed a game since round 2. Mark,
Walsh again.
taken by Walsh, who's been really good down back, as we've mentioned, for him and Samir Kaziata. They just push it further down the wing. Another mark taken, this time by Mason Storr, who hit the last goal of the game. Inside 50, and that's once again another very good contested grab. Taken by Garfield this time.
Seen quite the amount of drops in defence today.
Yeah.
Walsh, Kate.
There've been some silly turnovers, but there have also been ones where it's just been good defence from either team.
Another one there. At that time, should be able to handle the footy for a moment. Line out of bounds. 24.5 minutes in. Dalyston 8-5-53. Garfield 3-6-24. Totally workwear packed the scoreboards. And Eastshore and Packard's just opened. Be sure to check that out. Sliding at ground level. Seems to be relatively hazardous in the end. Everyone back up on their feet. The ball sits on its end. Half ball, another throw in.
Stoppage out here on the wing. All Garfield need here is a clearance to get a clean look for a scoring shot. Burgoyne is chasing, not before the siren is blown. I thought that was a rather short quarter, but 25 minutes it is. So
Holds up the Sharon with the one hand. And now throws it up with the other. Knocked down. Garfield immediately restricted in the tackle as Fitzpatrick. Stoppage 8 seconds in. Murray in the ruck. Tending in the air against Dalton. Had a bigger piece of it. Carving his way through. Lewis to the wing. Much yardage gain. No unlucky for both. Ripped it out of the pack. Beat him to it. Dalton again. Saul thrown out the tackle. Speaking of tackles.
So, what can Garfield do here? They really need an early score as Burgoyne let out the pack beautifully. Now, chuck it onto his right. Here's Murray laying down the full field this quarter. He runs Marana off to the left. Took his time a bit more. I knew he had a player right on his backside, but yeah,
Perfect to go. The greatest bounce on.
certainly rated. Marana just joining us. He missed the goal off to the left of face and played a good game through the middle today. So, kicking from fullback was Jet Pickering. Then it goes to Curtis Harper. Going to turn over here on the wing. Not before the ball is dropped. M. Lewis. The crunch and a tackle was a magpie. Not before it goes out of bounds, however. Pies lead by 30 points over the Stars. A big performance would be needed to get a win today for Garfield, who, as you mentioned before, remain winless. Kicked out of the contest by a Star, spins around trying to find anyone in the green and yellow, but instead it goes to the black and white, an occasion that's happened many times today. Carew looking for the footy, it's out of bounds on the full. It's not. Be a boundary throw and actually deep inside 50 for the Magpies. So now you've got Jack Murray in the ruck again. He's gone up forward for this quarter. Really low boundary throw in. Thought an opportunity could have presented itself there, but instead will have almost an exact repeat situation we just had. Murray, who's been dominant in the ruck today, going against Zach Suter, who hasn't played too badly himself. Who's going to win this hit out? Murray does, but Garfield read the ball really well and were able to exit, not before it was once again turned over, this time ending up with Ethan Ford and a clean lead just over the hands of Carew. They exit again. What can they do this time? They need to move the footy cleanly, no turnovers allowed. Kicks it into space. Ball tumbling towards the boundary line, but can they get possession first? Doesn't look like it. Getting awfully close to the line. Ethan Ford will take it over.
Strong running forward. They just need little 1%ers like that. Let them show up on the score sheet. All adds to their overall efforts. Out of the ruck, punched out of there. Murray again sliding in. Tangled from the pack. Garfield slowly move it forwards. A punishing kick from Fitzpatrick. Outstretched. Probably the market should have been taken. In the end, it wasn't. And Armstrong across the face of goal. Still lurking there for the Stars. So they level it in this final quarter.
Could have been goal of the day. It was a long dribble up, but just didn't have the accuracy in the end. So another kick out towards the wing. Players are flying towards the footy. Burgoyne is really close to it. If he gets a touch of it, he's going to clear it. It's been like that all day.
Big hit off the ball. Patrick.
Can't say I got sight of that, but I did see little pushback against Fitzpatrick just then. So maybe some tensions rising here. And I think that's a dangerous tackle. Ripping the ball free. And he's not letting go of Michael Marotta. And that was Zach Dalton. So tensions seem to be rising as Lachie Ireland, not an Irishman, might I just say, not as far as I'm concerned. And then he chips it over to Curtis Murfitt and finds Ireland again. So he's had a couple touches early in this fourth quarter. Murfitt needs to bounce the ball, kicks it back, and Jack Murray was nowhere near quick enough to get in the way of Angus Emery, who took an uncontested mark.
Quite the technique as well.
Yeah.
Racing for contact. It's a half-back kickering inside, half volley. Just missed it. Suter. Magpies negotiating with each other through the centre. Paramacini extricating the footy. Centre half forward. By the defence. Now Garfield. Relish the space. It's only momentary. To the wing. Hand pass. Dishing it out again with Bo. Straddling the line are the Stars. Anything in this fourth quarter notice? Maybe some structural change?
Not really. It's still been pretty back and forth. A lot of turnovers still. But no, nothing I've really noticed. But how about you, Dill?
Too much. Just that man Jack Murray. An appetite for the footy in this fourth quarter. Hampering the man on the ground there. Another ball up outside, half forward. Right in front of Garfield's interchange bench. Plenty of jumpers surrounding this footy. They multiply again. Ball up, same position. Said before, tensions are rising. We didn't see this in the first three quarters. And the ball just kicks around. Hit to the face did Ethan Ford. Was it? Springs back up. Overcast day. 29-point lead for the Magpies. Nearly 8 minutes into the last quarter. Burgoyne now playing in the back half, rather than forward after Dalyston. He might have an opportunity here. A one-on-one. It's a foot race. First to the ball was Hodge. It's still in there. Rather right. Kept alive. Still well again. Flickering out to the wing, the far side. Melrose. Clean it up. Bit of an untidy kick. Magpies to half forward again. Lewis. Commitment to stay with it. Now lays it out. From right again. Quite take the mark. Merrill's kick in the end. A lot of tackles being laid. Escape to half forward once again. So lights now on in this dark Sunday afternoon. Really grey looking clouds here at Dalyston. It is cold. It is windy down here at the coast of Victoria. And that's a great tackle laid by Lachlan Wright, who's had a really good final term, and another good tackle laid and holding the ball. So it was really good intensity. But then able to find an open man, Hayden Wallace, who this journey.
he kicked a really big set shot before, but instead he's going to find an open man in Blake Carew. He probably has mark of the day, I'll be honest.
Perfect kick.
Yeah, he threw the needle there, and Blake Carew goes off to the left a little bit. Looking for a set shot here. I think it's going to be second of the day. He makes it. Car horns tuned in. Cause a distraction. But absolutely no worries for that, man. This one's pretty much all but done now. So the Maggies now hit the scoreboard 60-25. And Blake Carew, I reckon he'd actually be in my votes today. He's played a really, really good game up at half forward, and he slots another one for his second of the day.
They just eradicated any claim that was remaining. 35 points for Dalyston. Lead under 11 minutes in on the trophy worth the hacking the scoreboard. Ball up. Had a man standing in front of him, just denied access to the ball. Once around. Kick out of there. It's a very defining kick. Breed, it's all up. Similar position to where it all started. Slapping it forward. And carving their way through a Garfield. Still alive in there. Penalties have been Sakari. Now he wheels onto the left. Beautifully placed. For his teammates. Put it forward. And a mark or a free kick has been paid. Illegally obstructed. Brendan Walsh again. Short shit. Forward. High ball up the chimney. Should be taken out here.
I mentioned Burgoyne coming out of my votes earlier in the quarter, and I think he might have. I'm not sure if he's done enough in this quarter, because Walsh and Samir Hazazado has been really good, and Blake Carew, you've got to mention him as well. But yeah, so Sean Burgoyne, he's fighting for Bazza Allen's votes here. Goes astray.
The question is now, where to for Garfield? 35 points is the margin, and although they have had to face Sean Burgoyne, which would have had an impact around the team, not only in the settlement. 0-10, major obstacle.
Yeah, well, in the early 2010s, they were a powerhouse of the Elam Bay District League. They won 2 flags and 3 medal appearances from 2011 to 2015, but after they've moved to the West Queensland League in 2017, they just can't place finals. And the closest they got in 2018 was they won 10 games and finished 6th.
No, it's like that. Just there, dropping on.
Just the way they played today against Dalyston, who aren't the greatest team in this league, it's hard to see them getting a win. Maybe against Currumborough, they took it up against the Giants, I'll admit that, but even that was still a loss for them. So really fighting for anything here, the Stars. Tackle laid by a Magpie. Just trying to flick the footy forward towards goals, so I could perhaps get someone at full forward to crumb it. Burgoyne wants the footy, eventually gets it, dropped it, however. And now they're running through the middle. This is more like it, Garfield. Sakari. It was a good kick. He found Angus Emery, who can now go inside 50, and he finds Nick Lang. Played a lot of footy, this man. Fakes the candy. Oh, he shoves him off. And he's absolutely booted it. But it swings off to the left. Oh my goodness, that would have been such a good goal. Oh, he tossed that man around like a baby. My goodness, ragdolled him.
He spoke on Currumborough just a moment ago, and over at Kilcunda, it's a 2-point game late in the last quarter.
Kilcunda versus who it was, sorry?
Currumborough.
Currumborough, wow.
Back to the action. Putting it in motion. Defence for the Magpies. Didn't hold up that time. Dalton. Pretty precise with the kick. The marker wasn't paid. We were waiting for the whistle. Ball up and making his case. Rightfully so is Lang.
I think he deserves a goal after that.
Over at Sheridan as well. 5-point game late in the last quarter. The leaders are being challenged. Big snap out of the pack by Fitzpatrick. To the left, minus score. Inaccuracy being the key for today.
That's what I said at the start of the game. Whoever is straighter on goal is really going to take advantage of this game, and Dalyston, they've just been better in front of goal, and the wind hasn't affected them as much, whereas, as you saw, Fitzpatrick shot directly in front of goal, but the wind just didn't take account for it, it swung all the way to the left. So the Garfield crowd still really loud down at that end. They've been swapping ends each quarter, supporting their side, and I think some of the cheer squad doesn't involve a couple of reserves members who went down today to Dalyston in a game just before the seniors match up, and fumbles it around and juggles it a bit. Zach Sotar before taking a clean grab, and then Angus Emery going through the middle, cuts it back, and he finds John Zakari, who was a co-captain in the 2016 Under-12s Premiership for Garfield. For a bit of a random fact for you. What a punch! Great backman work, and they might even get a free kick, not quite. Now they can move through the wing here, the Pies, soccers it out in front here. Want to hope it doesn't go out of bounds here. Bit more Garfield colours showing.
Well done.
And they were really good to get back there, Garfield. That's the sort of stuff they've needed all day, as M. Lewis takes another intercept.
On cue. Made a meal of it. Lewis. Forward. Paravicini has just kicked the one today. Won't kick another there. His teammate, however. Unsuccessfully. Around the grounds, Coralin, who played horribly industrious. There has no matchup around next week. They are leading really rough on Phillip Island just where the Bunyan, they lead by 50 points in the last quarter. Pete, you updated with the two thrillers going on between Kilcumber and Corabara, and Turin against Nanagu. Turin just kicked the goal to hold the 11-point lead. Back to the action. Goal was cut off by the defence. Miscommunication to open space for his teammate inside. Second half back. 17 and a half minutes in. 33-point margin. They've only had 3 less scoring shots. And kicks like that allow players like him to have shots at goal.
Had a lot of space there, but I don't think there was enough talking with his teammates to let him know that he wasn't hot, that he was all good to go. May have just prematurely hits that one, but would have been a great finish. Pickers is the Garfield players off the corner apparently. And, heard that right from the boundary. Sold the candy, that was clever from Harper. They push along the wing. Contested grab.
Who else?
And that was Brendan Walsh again, who has been brilliant in the back line. Just about got my 3 votes for today. He has been terrific. And Walsh will get another possession here. They centre it. And they find the other terrific backman in Samir Kazada. Almost sent to inside 50. In fact, he actually has, and Mason Storr leads out in front. It'll be interesting to see whether he goes with the set shot here. I don't think he will. He hasn't taken his time. He definitely won't. Swings. It's actually not looking too bad, but not before it's rushed over by Pickering and crashed into the post.
DNA all over the footy in the last few minutes. Full back. Now takes a step out of the square. Throws one across. Bow. Land variety. Cousins. Brothers would have assumed, and now he has to have some tools to find himself clear, and he did. It's a bit of a scramble kick. Maybe fortuitously just fell in the hands of Dalton. Out to the wing. Able to swipe it away, the defence. And work this wonders. As I say that, they turn it over. So Verleck. Short kick. His name written all over for it. Back inside 50, and now there's repercussions sparking. Lewis to the forward pockets. Just evaded. One forward up there. There was 4 stars around us. Just the one magpie. In the end, it's probably a better result for Dalyston.
And I suppose it doesn't matter because they're going to get the win today, but I have noticed that they've overcooked a couple of kicks now, going inside 50 to open targets, and I don't think Carew was necessarily open there, but there has been a lot of occasions where they've had to stretch out for a mark, so, and that's Store in the ruck position. I don't think he's been in much of today, as shrugs Dalyston off, who's been a bit of a pest to the Magpies in this last quarter. Edging towards goals here. Garfield just trying their best to desperately get it out. And umpire blows the whistle for another stoppage. A bit further out from goals than the previous one.
35 out from the Magpies goal, over 21 minutes now into time on. And active hands. Now the kick rinsed away to the wing. Maybe a late contender. Monson. He'd be unlucky to miss out on a couple of votes as well. He kicks that to Murph, who's slowly pedalling forward now. The lead for Carew. I can see it from a mile away.
He can go back for number 3 today. He has been great down in the forward line. I know we've spoken a lot about how good the backs have been today, but Carew has by far been the best forward for the Maggies.
15th season with Dalyston, and they call him by Roo. He's captain for the previous 7 years. 3 goals in 4 games this year, played in the reserves. First game back in round 6, and they just love to see him back in the seniors as he puts some finishing touches on the board for Dalyston, and they hold a 41-point lead late in this last quarter. 10-8, 68, 3-9, 27 on the totally workwear Pakenham scoreboard.
So a win is not even almost now, pretty much certain for the Magpies, as we're now a fair bit into time on, and we may only have about 3 minutes left judging by how short the third quarter was, but we'll see how we go. Clouds looking awfully dark here by the sea in Dalyston. So it was Barnes in the ruck who used the body nicely to get in front of Jack Murray. Really high kick there, bounces in the centre square, but eventually floods out to the wing. Bow was a really accurate kick, but just unlucky to not find a target in the end. Breaks the tackle was Lang, dishes it off by hand, only to turn it over. However, they retain possession. Finds a player in Fitzgerald, handballs over. That is the story of today.
It's almost too unselfish.
That was just so close to a goal there, but the handball was deviated from its natural path after a Pies player was able to tap it, and it goes through for a rush behind, and as I mentioned before, another overcooked kick going over Pies player's hand.
They've just lost some ascendancy. The Stars.
Yeah. Like, the scoreboard didn't really tell the story of the game with the midfield work, but it just seems like they've run out of legs here in this fourth quarter, Garfield.
Detached. Original position, and again unable to find a way out. Over 24 minutes left. Siren beckoning. Maybe another goal. Garfield hurled forward. Tossed up in the air, and Clay Tate, prominent part of this defensive influence that they've had today, influence the ball carrier Tate there. The nest of players broken up in the air. Now they can advance, and they do across the wing. Pickles extremely wide, will stay in play, not for too long. Carew did not fetch that.
Brad was jeering at something. didn't hear what it was about, and nonetheless, it'll be a boundary throw in. In the ruck, taps it out to Dalton, who has been getting under the skin a little bit today. He's tackled by Lucky Ireland. Another.
Far forward. Knocked down, and then the volleyball spike. I'm just trying to free up some space. He was unable to. Hayden Wallace brought to ground by Zach Dalton. Free kick has been paid.
But I feel like it could have been a bit of a dangerous tackle.
Could have been Burgoyne. Parked underneath.
Sorry, Dill. I saw Wallace really heavy.
And you get Carew in the hot spots. He kicked one previously. Similar distance, different angle. This time he's straight in front to give Dalyston a 46-point lead. Now 26 minutes in. Burgoyne's presence has done enough. How about Blake Carew's? Not that time.
Yeah, sorry, Dill.
You're right.
I was just trying to say, but Magnus played too good. Yeah, I thought Hayden Wallace took a really heavy hit to the head there in that tackle right by the boundary. Obviously, in a game where we're now trying to protect the head on, I thought it could have been a dangerous tackle, but nonetheless, we're well past it now. So, Curtis Harper from full back after a miss by Carew, who hasn't had many errors, and that's an error. Pickering almost lost the footy there. Luckily, he was just able to fight enough. Intercepted by a Pies player, however. So another opportunity lurks, and here's Burgoyne, the man of the moment, the Carlton draft nominee. He was drafted by the Dalyston Magpies, and he can go for number 2 today. He's certainly got the legs on him here. He kicked an outstanding goal before, earlier in the game. Sean Burgoyne, Mr. Silk, 50 out. That's looking almighty good. He's got it. Look at the guys run out to him. Sean Silk Burgoyne, take a bow. A legend of our game. And what a kick from 50 out to put the cherry on top for a great day for the Maggies.
Silky smooth, wasn't it? Quite happy with it.
Oh, he is in love with himself after that one.
Why wouldn't you be? That was just a genuine strike at the football. Nothing but power. 28 minutes now into this last quarter. Quite elongated. We'll see how this last little bit plays out. But a Sean Burgoyne goal to end the day is the perfect sentiment for Dalyston. Another scrap. Kick forward, Burling. In defence, Armstrong couldn't quite reel it in. Free kick has been paid to Garfield. Maybe a consolation goal. Siren sounds. Sean Burgoyne, a major part of this side today. As we wait for the final score, Zach Sauter. You will not register a score because this wind and rain is just falling down at a menacing rate at the moment.
This came out of nowhere.
But Sean Burgoyne and the Dalyston Magpies